Hey everyone, it's Patsy, and I am going to do the just a short little you pickets so that you all can work on your intuition, on your intuitive powers, and also learn how to stay in contact with your ancestors, with your ego, right? And see what it is that they want you to know and what it is that you need to do. But this is good. This is a little fun exercise, right? Because it was amazing. I was watching quiet the quietest revolution with Amber Khan, and I mentioned before that I just love her, and she is growing, and she's just doing some amazing, amazing, amazing things. She reads tarot cards, no oracle, nothing. She's fabulous. But she was saying the same thing that the same message that I was getting from my ego earlier last week is that you know she's writing a book about tarot cards and reading tarot. She needs to, she wants everybody to start to learn how to read for yourself. And I was getting the same message when my Agam was saying, the messages when you're doing, private personalized readings, the messages will come when the messages come. And if someone wants a reading, they have to be patient and wait because it's going to be done based on. I'm sorry. It's to be done based on what it is that they are having me to do, or what it is that I'm going through, or when the time is right for whatever the answer is that this person is looking for. So and they said basically, you need to be able to rely on turning to your ancestors. That's the whole point of this exercise, is to help all of us not to be afraid of our ancestors, and to learn how to to rely on them to help us with our daily activities and our concerns and our chores, the same way we would ask a friend, or if they were here, ask a family member if they were here, if there's something that's really concerning you. So this is about us all becoming more, relying more on our ancestors for their help, to remember them, to venerate them, because they would like to be acknowledged. Okay? So when you're doing, you go and you're reading, enjoying these readings and all of that, we're doing it because that's what we have been directed to do. The people who do readings here on YouTube or whatever, they have been directed to do that by their spirit guides, to obtain whatever it is that their families need in order to continue on their ascension. Well, everybody's family wants to ascend, including yours. So what are you doing to help? So I'm not saying you should get on YouTube and start a channel, even though you could. I'm saying that the least of it is that they would like those of you who are following myself, and those of you who follow other readers or are led to do so, start taking care of your ancestors, okay? Build an ancestral altar. If you can't do it in your home, do it on your property somewhere. And if you don't have property and live in an apartment, if you can't do it where you're staying, in your room or the studio, whatever, find a place outside in nature somewhere that you can go to. And even when the weather's bad and you can't get to it, you can visualize this place. Take a picture of it, bring it home, have it, make something that you can say, this is my sacred space, all right? If not, go more often to the cemetery and leave flowers for your family. Remember them in your prayers at Thanksgiving. Little things like that. If you get something, uh, you make a special dinner, a special meal, put a little aside for your egon. Um, they just want us to acknowledge them, and all it's going to do is just help us to protect ourselves and to help them ascend. Just like when you go to the mass at the Catholic Church, that they do a mass for people after they pass away. What's the point? To help them on their ascension. It's the same principle, the same idea. You celebrate Memorial Day, you celebrate Veterans Day, you celebrate President's Day. All of these things. We have the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier that gets 24-hour guards, off Marine Guard there. That's a part of ancestor veneration. These are people who have crossed over, and we have a day set aside to honor them, just like we do Easter, just like Christmas. All of these, it's the same idea. So don't think you're odd not to do that. And most civilizations over the centuries had some form of this. So we're not telling anybody to, sacrifice, virgins to the idols or anything like that. No, this is about you, a candle, and a glass of water, honey. That's it. Don't they deserve at least that? For the warm blood that's running through your veins? Your ancestors, if they hadn't loved, you wouldn't be here. And we've all gotten away from it. Generations and generations have gotten away with it. But right now, Spirit is saying that this is what they need us to do. So, we're just bringing the messages, folks. You can, for entertainment purposes, right? These are all for entertainment purposes only. So, your grandparents would like you to entertain them. Your ancestors want you to entertain them. Put a candle and a glass of water with a picture or a list of their names, or if you can't even do whatever, you make it as elaborate as you want it, or make it as conservative as you'd like it. Like I said, you can make it outside if you can't make it in your home. Or you can at least make it in your heart. Just remember them in your prayers before you go to bed. When you say bless mommy and daddy and your sisters and your brothers, whatever, say bless great-grandmother. Thank you, great-grandmother. Thank you, grandfather so-and-so. Thank you, this and that. Call in names, tell them thank you. Just a start. See what happens. See if there are some positive changes that go on in your life if you do things like that. Can't hurt. Might help. Right? Okay, so, and you're not, you're not drawing no bad juju or calling in negativity, and just saying thank you. Just acknowledging their struggle, acknowledging what they went through in order for us all to be here today. And that's not just black. That's black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever nationality. You have people who have stood up and worked hard and fought the fights that you don't have to fight anymore. Well, we thought we didn't have to fight them anymore, but okay. But there's still some things, We still have inside toilets. They haven't put us where we have to do the outhouse thing again. And every one of us have great-grandparents and grandparents that had to dodge snakes somewhere in the woods in order to go to the bathroom. Today, you don't have to do that. There's still some people who do. But today, for the majority of us, especially us enjoying life here in the United States, you don't have an outhouse. You have a bathroom that has an inside shower with hot water and cold water and curtains on the windows so that the neighbors next door don't see you, or you have specially stained glass windows, and you have tubs that have the telephone and the television set, and you could bring your cell phone into the bathroom, and you could talk to your friends, and all of this stuff. Elaborateness, gold toilet seats for some people, toilet seats that have a bidet, okay, and that comes in warm or cold or whatever. Just that fact that you don't have to go outside and use a bucket. Dude, come on, for real? Can we say thank you for that? Thank you, Ego. For the person who created it, and the people who market it, and the availability of the funds and the research and the science and everything that went into making sure that we can have our toilets in our homes without risking our health. Isn't that enough to give thanks for? That your parents were able to afford to get an apartment or a home that had an inside toilet at some point, and you never went back to the outhouse? All of us, that's a common experience for everybody in this country. And outside of this country, there are places that people don't have toilets. They don't have fresh water. They don't have all of these things. We need to be grateful for the fact that we have overcome that part. We're talking about space troops and shit, folks. Can we just be thankful for the little things that we have? Be a little grateful that we don't have to go outside to the well to draw the water unless we decided we want well water for something. You can go to your kitchen and turn on the faucet. Microwaves. Our mothers was outside burning, hoping for the wood to catch to make the fire to, come on, we don't turn on the stove, gas or electric. Or push a button now on your phone, I think, you know. And be careful with downloading those apps from Samsung and these places over in China and whatever. If they can control those apps, they can control you. If those apps run your television and your phone and your Wi-Fi and your refrigerator and your washing machine and your dryer, and they are the ones who've created these apps, and we're just downloading things all over the place and just using all of these conveniences. Be careful. We have to be mindful of that stuff. What is that really about? Especially since we have this monster who will sell us all down the river for nothing. Okay, for a little of nothing, just so he can see himself on television. Okay, him and his family. They're jealous because they live in the United States and all of their friends are, you know, autocrats and kleptocrats and all of this other stuff, so they feel left out. So they needed to become the president, and he don't even want to give us another election to get rid of his ass, and the Congress will allow him to do that. So if you want to save this nation and you don't, work with your ancestors and vote blue. Sorry, folks. Just as it is. Just for now. Just until we can get rid of this character, including his vice president, because he's just as bad, if not worse. But because he acts like he's a Christian, yet still he's making, you know, robbing the people of Indiana. That bullshit nonsense with Carrier. All right, paid all of that money, took it out of the budget of Indiana, gave it to Carrier, and it hasn't been 2 years yet, and Carrier's already shut down that factory. What happened to all those jobs? Come on, all that money that they got back in that tax bill. Are you happy because you got your little $1,000 raise at Christmas time, your little $1,000 bonus at Christmas time? You wouldn't have gotten a bonus if it hadn't been for this tax write-off. Okay, good. But you know they're writing that off their taxes too. All of us who put our children through private school all these years and busted our asses, we couldn't take those costs off of our taxes. But now if you send your children to certain types of private schools, and if you have a nanny, you can deduct that from your taxes. What? But they don't want to give us clean water in Flint, Michigan yet, still. And there are people in Puerto Rico that are still living without a roof on their home or electricity or access to water. So, this is why we need to start paying attention to our ancestors. And I think that that's the way that we can make a change without there being a war. Let the spirits fight it out, okay? Because we all have ancestors, including the occupant of the White House. He's got ancestors. Okay. I'm sure they're going to shut this video down too, right, guys? Anyway, this is going to be the you pick it for water signs, okay? See, that was emotion. So what we're going to do, we're going to get cards from the Journey of Love deck by Alana Fairchild and Richard Cohen, and from the Whispers of Love, and that's by Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall, and the Sacred Rebels, also by Alana Fairchild. So, while I was ranting, before I really got too far into it, I got 3 cards for us from each of those decks. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these cards, I'm going to let you see them, and then you're going to ask your spirit guides, your divine guides, to let you know which of these messages is for you. Okay? So you're going to use your intuition and ask your ancestors, your divine guides, to tell you which of these are meant for you tonight. So these are all romance-based. Knowing how much y'all love that stuff, and because we're doing water. Okay, so we're going to do this for water tonight. So we got 3 cards, see? Ooh, okay, so this is the Journey of Love deck. This is the Whispers of Love. And this is the Sacred Rebels. Okay, so you can pause the video for a little bit and ask your ancestors, ask your spirit guides, use your intuition, whatever way it goes, to lead you to the message that is intended for you. So is it going to be 1, 2, or 3? All right, so you can pause the video here. All right, I'll set it up, give you a couple of minutes for those of you who can't pause it. And I'm going to read each one, and then you'll see if how your intuition is working. Okay, so 1. I'm sorry, it's 1, 2, or 3. You're right, Ego. Thank you so much. Sorry. 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so let's start with card number 1. And this card is number 32, Devotion to the Small. 32. So 32 is 5. 5 is change, right? 32. Thank you guys for putting up with me. I appreciate it. Devotion to the small. She bows. She honors growth. She sees that within the smallest flower there is a teaching of the earth, the gospel of Gaia, the mystery of life demonstrated. She recognizes that she too is of nature, subject to the mysteries of growth and life, that in honoring nature, in taking pleasure in life, she opens her heart to allow great creation to happen through her. This is the feminine wisdom, alive in men and women with open hearts. There is an innate wisdom within you that understands this devotion to the Earth Mother is an important step in fulfilling your spiritual destiny on this planet. She is speaking to you now, letting you know that there is a small change happening, something that is growing within you that you may recognize but not think it's so important. Yet, she tells you now that it is very significant. Soon you will see that what you thought was a seed to a single flower is actually blossoming into a lush garden of manifestation. Gratitude and love for the small changes happening are leading you into fullness that you can only dream of. Enjoy. The message of this oracle for you is that your blossoming is occurring now, and the Mother Earth has gratitude for your presence within her being, for the work you are doing to help other human beings. She asks you to surrender any concern you have to her, to let her creative power continue to gently guide you to your rightful place in the world, that you may shine as you were born to do in service to the evolution of this planet. She is helping you now. Trust her. And there's a poem that goes with this. A flower is a poem that tells you the truth of a thought, a fragrance of a dream, as fleeting as a heartbeat, as fleeting as a heartbeat, as lasting as a memory. A flower is a poem that tells you the truth of a thought and the fragrance of a dream, as fleeting as a heartbeat, as lasting as a memory. Ashe, very nice. Well, that kind of confirms what I was talking about, doesn't it? Being grateful for the small things and the small changes. So Ashe, Gun, thank you very much. So that was card number 1. If that's the one you picked, that is your message your Agun wanted you to hear. So, reiterating my message to you. Hello. So, if you didn't hear me, you heard them. Especially if they led you to it, they meant for that to be for you. So don't be mad at me. I'm just doing the job. So, card number 2 from the Whispers of Love deck is 26, New Love. Let me hold this close because it's really tiny. Okay, New Love. Nice. New Love. Get a little as close as I can for you guys. Like I said, that writing is so small. All righty. New Love. All right, let's see what that message is for those of you who picked card number 2. Two and 6 is 8, so 8 is infinity, right? So again, it's divine messages. 6. New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. Everything has a season. Get ready, as someone special is now in your life. If you are in a relationship, there's a burst of new energy coming into this partnership. This could mean new energy in a place of employment or a great opportunity that is coming your way. Okay, so this is telling you that new opportunities are coming for you, and embrace those opportunities. All right, those are gifts to you. So if this was the card that you were directed to, then that message was from your ancestors. Right? Okay, so card number 3 was another 8. And this is from the Sacred Rebels deck. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Ooh. And there's an owl there, so that talks about wisdom. So definitely this is a message of wisdom, something that is infinite, which means this is a message to hang on to, keep with you. Okay? Be the hunter, not the hunted. Do you feel that you're at the beck and call of circumstances, situations, and relationships that are outside of your control? Is your attention being called away from what you love, from your passionate focus upon your own journey and creative self-expression? Are you feeling roped into becoming a support tonic, savior, or a heal-all for others? There's a big difference between healthy supportiveness in a relationship, which includes healthy self-support, and ignoring your own journey out of misplaced guilt, shame, unworthiness, or the belief that the needs of others are more important than your own. That is not compromise. It is unhealthy and neglectful of yourself. You're being asked to see through the assumptions, expectations, tantrums, or manipulations that may be put upon you by yourself or others. See through them to the truth. You can only sidestep, change your response, or choose to release that which you can recognize. This oracle brings you some more important news. You are capable of seeing the truth, of outsmarting old patterns and responding more creatively to craft new and improved relationships. You don't have to be drawn into the drama of others or the suffering of repetitive struggles. You can become still and silent with a willingness to see the truth. In doing so, you will be open to being shown another way through the inner wisdom of your heart, or a flash of insight from the great universal mind that penetrates your own awareness. This oracle also brings you particular guidance that there is a message coming your way. This message will be important to you, and you are not to paint it as anything more or less than it is. Sit with your heart. Take your time. Even if there is a deadline for your answer, you will be able to bend and stretch time so that in your relaxation, you can feel for what your truth is in the situation at hand and respond appropriately. The more honest your response, without the need to be aggressive or apologetic, the more energy you will be unleashing from unhealthy patterns into the fresh new course your life now wants to take. This is a powerful time for you. No matter how seemingly small or how apparently dramatic events around you appear to be, know that you are stepping into a new phase of empowerment. From that place, a new freedom and self-love will emerge. Mother Nature offers you the wisdom medicine of the owl, the ability to hear what is not spoken and see what is hidden in darkness. Trust that you feel beyond appearances. The power and magic of the owl is working with you, and Mother Nature is by your side, assisting you in navigating the current life transition into a new way of being. So, those of you who picked card number 3, that's your message from your ancestors. Don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Okay? Make sure that you take care of yourself and you do whatever you do as guided by your spirit guides. Don't let anybody rush you into doing something. And when you have your moments to relax, take full advantage of it. And in that time, check in with your ancestors and find out what it is that you need to know about the situation. What is the truth? And what is just manipulation? Okay? So this is protection for you. So good on you if you picked card number 3. All right? So thank you very much for allowing me to share these messages with you. We have like 2,777 viewers this morning. Ashe Egun. And hopefully we'll have more people join us. But in the meantime, we're going to keep learning our lessons. All right? So thank you all for hanging in there with me. Thank you all for your subscriptions, your likes, your shares. Don't forget, share these messages. Like I said, if somebody's birthday this month, give them this, a Facebook friend, when they send those little things up, it says, this is their birthday. Attach a video for their month or something like this, the You Pick It's, all right? And I'm sure they'll appreciate it. And I certainly will. And so will your Egun. That'll be something else you could do for your ancestors, because these messages are from them. And these are offerings that you can share with other people. And you'll be doing your job too. Ashe? Ashe. So I'll talk to you guys soon. And I'll be doing one for each one of the signs, okay? Feel free to go back and forth and watch the other videos, and do the same exercise, right? Because this is about exercising your intuitive muscles, all right? Talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye-bye.